The Five Stages of Grief by Lynda Pastan. The Five Stages of Grief is a poem by American poet Lynda Pastan. Her poem is an extreme expressive poem that emphasizes the main aspects of the five stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Pastan uses tropology and effective diction to express the yearning and anxiety of an individual who undergoes grief following the loss of a loved one, especially dear husband. Everyone has experienced grief. Everyone has felt those intense rolling waves of emotion. But does everyone experience the same feeling each time they lose a loved one? In this extreme and expressive poem, The Five Stages of Grief, Pastan shows the yearning of an individual while they are still facing reality through the use of tropology and effective diction. The theme recognizes the anxiety of one whose life has been shattered into pieces, a life in which circular staircases repeats itself throughout an emotional event. Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel Bachelor and Master English. Today, as you have already seen or you have already gone through my discussion, that we are talking about the five stages of grief by American poet Lynda Pastan. And in today's discussion, we'll be talking about the poem. There will be summary in English and Nepali, and there will be 4 levels of reading with this text. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel. Let's go with the summary. The summary of the text in English. Then there will be summary in Nepali. Okay. When the poet Lynda Pastan lost her dearest husband, somebody asked her to go through the 5 stages of grief. They said it was easy, like learning to climb stairs after cutting off a limb by surgical operation. So she climbed accordingly. First, she could not believe he was dead. The first stage was the denial of his loss. She recalled how she gave the dead toast and newspaper at the breakfast table. She was angry to see him hiding behind the paper. It was anger. She burned the toast and snatched the paper from him that read the news of his death. The news now disappointed her. What was she to do now in exchange for his death? It was bargaining. Should it be complete silence after the storming quarrels, or should she be busy over writing again? It was her depression. It was the worst stage. Depression was the suitcase containing bandages for eyes or bottles of sleep. She slid down the stairs. Still there was hope, the hope of life, although it flashed and weak. The signboard for hope showed high up still. Mr. Hope was her uncle's middle name, who died last year. The husband died a year ago. The very year she lost 2 of her dearest people. The tree line of life had lost its green color. It was acceptance. She then realized life was a solitary, undreamed of journey. She knew grief is a circular staircase. Okay, this is all about the summary of the text, the 5 stages of grief in English. Let's go with the summary in Nepali. Lynda Pastan द्वारा रचित एउटा मानव मनोविज्ञानसँग सम्बन्धित कविता हो। यसमा लिन्डा पास्तानले आफ्नो श्रीमान बितेको र उसलाई गुमाएको दुःख कसरी सहन गर्ने भन्ने सवालमा उनका कुनै साथीहरूले, कुनै एउटा नजिकका मान्छेहरूले यसरी तिमीले चाहिँ आफ्नो श्रीमानको चाहिँ मृत्युलाई सहन गर्नुपर्छ, यसरी चाहिँ उसलाई चाहिँ विभिन्न तरिकाले चाहिँ उसलाई बिस्तारै ऊ नभएको फिलिङ चाहिँ तिमीले आफूले गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने खालका सुझाव दिएको हुनाले त्यही आधारमा उनले चाहिँ एउटा त्यसलाई आफूले आत्मसात गर्न कोसिस गरेको प्रसङ्ग आउँछ यहाँ। अनि यहाँ यसरी लेखिएको छ कवितामा: मैले तिमीलाई हराएको राति कसैले मलाई शोकको 5 वटा चरणहरू देखाए। दुःखका 5 चरणहरू, शोक सहन गर्ने 5 तरिकाहरू। तिनीहरूले भन्थे कि म सोही बाटो भएर जानुपर्छ। अङ्ग काटिएपछि खुड्किलो चढ्न सिकाइ गर्न सजिलो हुने भए जस्तै यो पनि सजिलो हुन्छ, र त्यसैले मैले खुड्किलो चढेँ। पहिलो खुड्किलो अस्वीकार थियो। सावधानीपूर्वक 2 जनालाई हुने गरी नास्ता खाना मैले टेबल राखेँ। मैले तिमीलाई खानेकुरो दिएँ, तर तिमीले यसलाई छोएनौ, मैले तिमीलाई पत्रिका दिएँ तर तिमीले यसलाई लुकायौ। दोस्रो खुड्किलो रिस थियो, जुन मलाई बढी परिचित थियो, उसलाई परिचित लाग्थ्यो। रिसमा मैले खानेकुरा ध्वस्त पारेँ, पत्रिका खोसेँ र मुख्य पङ्क्तिहरू, समाचारमा लेखिएका विवरणहरू स्वयं नै पढेँ, तर समाचारले गइरहेको कुरा वर्णन गरेको पाएँ। त्यसैले मैले सौदा गर्नतिर लागेँ। त्यो तेस्रो खुड्किलो थियो, तर म तिम्रो लागि के साटासाट गर्न सक्छु भन्ने कुराको निधो नै गर्न सकिनँ। आँधीको सट्टा मौनता, रिसको सट्टा शान्ति वा मेरो मेहनत। तिमीलाई केही दिउँ भने निर्णय गर्नु अघि नै खिन्नता, तेस्रो खुड्किलो, मेरो दुखी नाता पर्ने फुल्दै हावा निकाल्दै आइपुग्यो। खिन्नतासँग एउटा सुकेस थियो जुन डोरीले बाँधेको थियो। आँखा छोप्न पट्टीहरू र निद्राको लागि सिसीहरू त्यस सुटकेसमा थिए। मैले कुनै कुराको महसुस नगरी भर्याङको खुड्किलोबाट चिप्लेँ। यो समय अवधिभर आशाको मधुरो बत्ती बल्ने र निभ्ने गर्दै थियो। आशा त हावामा झुन्ड्याइरहेको सङ्केत पाटी थियो। यो त मेरो काकाको बीचको नाम थियो। आशबाटै उहाँको मृत्यु भयो। 1 वर्ष बित्यो। म अझै खुड्किलो चढ्दैछु, जबकि मेरा पाइलाहरू तिम्रो ढुङ्गी अनुहार, तिम्रो कडा खुड्किलोमा चिप्लिन्छन्। लामो समयदेखि रुखको पङ्क्ति देखिएको छैन र मैले यसको हरियो रङ, हरियो जीवन बिर्सिसकेको छु। तर अब म देख्न सक्छु कि म स्वीकारको खुड्किलो, 5औं र अन्तिम खुड्किलो चढ्दैछु। यो खुड्किलो ठुला ठुला अक्षरहरूमा, विशेष मुख्य पङ्क्तिमा बत्तीमा टिलिक्क टल्किरहेको छ। म सङ्घर्ष गर्दैछु, हात हल्लाउँदै र कराउँदैछु। भर्याङ मुनि मेरो पुरै जीवनको फिज फैलिएको छ र ती सुन्दर पङ्क्तिका दृश्यहरू पनि छन् जुन कहिले मैले जानेको वा सपनामा देखेको थिएँ। तल एउटा माछा उफ्रिँदैछ र तिम्रो घाँटीमा भाव नाडी अड्किएको छ। अन्तमा म स्वीकार भन्ने माथिल्लो खुड्किलासम्म पुग्छु, तर केही कुरा बिग्रेछ। मैले पाएको छु कि शोक भनेको एउटा घुमाउरो भर्याङ रहेछ र मैले तिमीलाई घुमाएको छु। कविताको नेपाली सारांश यो नै हो। उनले 5वटा जुन दुःखका अथवा शोक सहन गर्ने जुन चरणहरू छन् नि, तिनलाई आफ्नो जीवनको, आफ्नो श्रीमानको नाशसँगै, श्रीमानको गुमाइसँगै, श्रीमानको स्वर्गारोहणसँगै उनले कसरी सहन गर्न सकिन् त। आखिरीमा 1 वर्षपछि बल्ल उनलाई थाहा भयो उनले आफ्नो पतिलाई गुमाएकी छ। 1 वर्ष उनले धेरै चरणहरू, धेरै कष्टहरू सहन गरिन्। सकेसम्म उसलाई बिर्सने कोसिस गरिन्। उसका चाहिँ उसँग सम्बन्धित भएका कुराहरू सबैलाई ऊ बिर्सने अथवा ऊ त्यहीँ भए पनि उसँग चाहिँ हुने सबै खालका चाहिँ व्यवहारहरू गरिन्। उसले कस्तो गर्थ्यो, आफूले उसँग कसरी अन्तर्क्रिया गर्थिन्, उसले कस्तो व्यवहार गर्थ्यो, उसले कस्तो अपेक्षा गर्थिन् र सबै कुराहरू चाहिँ हुँदै हुँदै जाँदाखेरि 1 वर्ष बित्दाखेरि उनलाई थाहा भयो एउटा त्यो शोकको सहन गर्ने भनेको जुन एउटा चरणहरू छन् नि, यी 5वटा चरणहरू, ती चरणहरू सिँढीको रूपमा रहन्छन् कि एउटा घुमाउरो भर्याङमा रहेछन्। र मैले त्यो तिमी गुमाएको, मेरो पति गुमाएको, मैले आफ्नो पति गुमाएर विधवा भएको बल्ल मैले थाहा पाएको छु। That's the summary in Nepali. Let's go with the 4 levels of reading with the text. First of all, literal comprehension. So this is similar to our summary here, and it has been shortened version. After the loss of her dear husband, she was told to go through the 5 stages of grief that could be simple way to forget him. In her first stage, she denied her husband's absence and behaved as if she were with him. She became very angry when she did not find him in her. Then she started to bargain with death and searching for things that could be exchangeable for him. She became depressed after remembering her past life, that was her husband's and her poor relation. There could be no gain even after she got him. After passing of time, she accepted the death of her husband. There was no hope and there was no life either. Having realized that life, she got up to fight with upcoming challenges. She became restless like a jumping fish. After all, she was out of water. She supposed grief to be a never-ending process in human life. That was what she learned from her 1 year experience and 1 year learning with, 1 year facing with the 5 stages of grief, 1 year practice with 5 stages of grief. Interpretation. This poem may be interpreted as the experience of the woman confronting a crisis in her marriage. Denial, anger, depression, hope, compromise and acceptance are the different stages to endure pain. The main theme of this poem is that life and death is a natural process. Everybody has to face it and accept it. It happens in everybody's life. When somebody goes from our life, then we know the real value of that person. This poem taught to love loved ones when they are alive, otherwise it will be too late. Also, this poem tells us we have to accept the 5 stages of grief to overcome challenges, to overcome the grief, or to lament, instead of lamenting the loss of somebody, timely or untimely. And here is critical thinking. This poem is in the form of prose. However, it sounds like drama. The speaker is addressing her husband and powering her emotions. The poet has used green and neon for flickering hope. I agree with Lynda Pastan when she states grief is a circular staircase. But if it is a circular, it is never ending. Separation and meeting takes place turn by turn. I have some questions to raise in the poem after reading this text in detail. Is it fruitful to be angry after losing anyone? Is it possible to get back the dead person through bargaining? Are really 5 stages of grief helpful to forget the dead person? Does everyone go through the 5 stages of grief when they lost a person in their life? So, these are critical opinion questions, critical thinking questions, critically thinking questions. Now here is an assimilation. When I read this poem, I came to know more about the life of the married couple. They have almost similar experiences everywhere in the world. The writer of this poem reminded me of the event when my best friend's dad died. His mom was crying so hard and finding her husband everywhere, pretending he is here. She stopped eating everything, saying, "Well, he comes, we'll eat together." But after some days, we convinced her, saying, life and death happen in everybody's life. Pastan's 5 stages of grief are similar to the stages that Elizabeth Kubler-Ross described in On Death and Dying as experienced by the terminable ill. This poem confirmed my conviction that life is full of struggle. We should keep on working hard, whatever may come up on the way. And these 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So all these stages of grief have been successfully employed in 5 stages of grief, and this has become a technically drama-like but very good example of metaphysical sort of poem. With this discussion, I have come to the end of my today's lesson. How did you get it? If you have any queries, please put your ideas in my comment box. If you are not the valued subscriber, if you are new to my channel, still I request you to subscribe my channel. That's all. Have a nice day.